In a moment that was as heartwarming as it was unexpected, BTS's Jin once again captured the world's attention, not on a concert stage, but as the master of ceremonies at a close friend's wedding. On March 28, 2025, Kim Seokjin, known worldwide as Jin of BTS, stepped into the role of MC at his personal trainer's wedding and delivered remarks that sent a ripple of emotion through the guests and soon, across the internet. Clad in a sleek, elegantly tailored suit, Jin stood at the altar not merely as a celebrity guest, but as someone deeply connected to the groom's personal journey. The wedding, held without a traditional officiant, gave space for personalized vows and heartfelt moments. But it was Jin's opening speech that unexpectedly stole the spotlight. "I'm not just the groom's colleague," Jin began, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "I'm someone who witnessed firsthand what loyalty and support look like when life becomes incredibly tough." He went on to explain how, during his own military enlistment, the groom had been one of the few constants, visiting him often, keeping his spirits high, and helping him endure the solitude. "So today, I'm not just hosting a wedding," Jin added. "I'm honoring someone who showed me the true meaning of brotherhood." This intimate confession immediately changed the tone of the event. Guests were visibly moved, some wiping away tears. And as the video clip of his speech, posted by ex-user @Jania1204, went viral, fans around the world were equally touched. Media outlets from Billboard to Variety picked up the story, hailing Jin's sincerity and his ability to seamlessly blend celebrity charm with deep emotional connection. And in typical Jin fashion, he lightened the atmosphere with a perfectly timed joke. "Sorry everyone, this isn't a BTS comeback stage," he quipped. "But honestly, the stage of love tonight is better than any concert venue I've ever been on." Laughter echoed throughout the hall, and the quote was instantly immortalized on social media and in fan-made edits, complete with romantic K-drama music and dreamy filters. American media outlets were quick to chime in. Billboard wrote, "Jin once again proves his charisma knows no limits. He brings authenticity and heart wherever he goes." While CNN Entertainment noted, "From soldier to superstar to wedding MC, Jin continues to redefine what it means to be a global icon." ARMY, BTS's massive global fandom, took to social media to express their emotions, making hashtags like #MCJin, #WeddingWithJin, and #JinSpeaksFromTheHeart trend across platforms. One post read, "Jin doesn't just sing, he heals. He doesn't just perform, he connects. And tonight, he gave a piece of his soul to us all." Another said, "If Jin ever opens a wedding MC agency, he'd be fully booked for the next decade." But what shocked fans even more was Jin's casual mention that this wasn't his first time playing wedding MC. "I've done this a few times over the years," he admitted. "And every single time, I leave learning something new about love, about commitment, and about the people who make life worth living." That revelation led fans into a frenzy, trying to uncover other secret Jin appearances at private events. This heartwarming wedding moment further solidifies Jin's reputation, not only as a musical genius and visual icon, but also as a deeply grounded, loyal friend. Despite his ongoing commitments, from his successful solo albums Happy and Echo, to his emotionally charged Run Seokjin EP tour, and appearances at brand events and Olympic ceremonies, Jin never forgets the people who matter in his life. His gesture also reinforces a broader theme BTS members often embody, that behind the fame, there are real friendships, human stories, and everyday moments that build a legacy far deeper than awards and accolades. Jin continues this new chapter post-military service. Moments like these remind fans why he's more than just an idol. He's a storyteller, a bridge between worlds, a man who shows up when it counts. And for millions around the world, that's what makes him truly unforgettable. What did Jin reveal while hosting that wedding? Not a scandal. Not a headline-grabbing stunt, but something far rarer in today's world, an honest, loving tribute to a friend, spoken from the heart, that made the world stop and feel, and that is the kind of star Jin was always destined to be. As the wedding progressed, Jin's presence became more than ceremonial. Guests described him not only as an elegant host, but as someone who created an atmosphere of comfort, laughter, and meaning. From managing transitions between speeches to gently guiding the emotional tempo of the night, he demonstrated a kind of natural stage presence that even seasoned MCs would envy. But this was no surprise to those who have followed his journey from the earliest BTS days. Jin has always had the ability to command attention without demanding it. One particular moment that garnered emotional reactions was when Jin paused the ceremony briefly to acknowledge the groom's mother, who had battled a long illness but managed to attend the wedding. "Your strength," he said while bowing respectfully, "is the kind of love this day is built on." That short statement, recorded in multiple fan-captured clips, later sparked a wave of tributes online. Army members began sharing stories of their own parents and loved ones, tying it back to Jin's message. One fan wrote, "He doesn't even know me, but Jin made me call my mom just to say thank you. That's his impact." Backstage after the event, Jin was seen hugging the bride and groom, whispering something only they could hear. When asked later in an interview what he said, the groom shared, "He told us, in marriage, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. Every day, every moment, just show up for each other." That line is going to stay with me for life. International reactions to Jin's MC role weren't limited to fans. American celebrities, including Chris Martin of Coldplay and talk show host Jimmy Fallon, chimed in with supportive messages. Fallon reposted a fan-edited clip of Jin's wedding remarks with the caption, "Can this guy host the Emmys too?" Meanwhile, Chris Martin posted a short Instagram story stating, "Jin brings love to any stage, wedding or world tour. Respect." This unexpected yet intimate side of Jin has elevated public perception of him beyond the worldwide handsome moniker. Critics and cultural commentators now describe him as a modern cultural diplomat, someone who moves across music, friendship, and cultural spaces with grace. South Korean outlets praised him as a national treasure, while US entertainment sites hailed him as a once-in-a-generation human artist. Interestingly, many fans noted that Jin's role in this wedding mirrors a running joke in BTS fandom, that he would make a great host for Saturday Night Live or even become the next great Korean variety show king. With his impeccable comedic timing, heartfelt delivery, and ability to read any room, his fans have started the hashtag #MCJin Global Tour, hoping one day to see him host major events outside the K-pop world. But amid all the headlines, virality, and praise, Jin himself remained humble. In a Weverse post shared the next day, he wrote, "Thank you for the kind words. It was an honor to be part of my friend's special day. Sometimes, life gives us quiet moments that mean more than any stage. I'm grateful I could be there." That line alone reminded everyone why Jin stands apart. In a world driven by spectacle, he finds magic in the sincere. In an industry fueled by noise, he leads with quiet power. And in an age where fame often feels impersonal, Jin continues to prove that authenticity never goes out of style. As the wedding fades into memory for those who attended, its emotional echoes continue across social media, fan forums, and media outlets worldwide. It wasn't just a ceremony. It was a reminder of friendship, gratitude, and how, even in a tailored suit at a private event, Jin BTS continues to lead with heart. Following the viral spread of Jin's elegant MC performance at the wedding, the conversation online began to shift from mere admiration to something more profound. Fans and non-fans alike started dissecting his speech, his gestures, and even his body language, not to criticize, but to understand why it felt so impactful. Cultural analysts noted how Jin's tone balanced reverence with relatability, and how his use of humor gently diffused the tension that weddings often bring. One particular highlight was when Jin poked fun at his own celebrity status, joking, "I promise I won't break into song, unless the bride asks me to," which immediately drew laughter from the crowd. Moments like this revealed the depth of his emotional intelligence, not just his charisma, but his awareness of how to connect with people across different emotional wavelengths. Meanwhile, several major news outlets in the United States picked up the story, framing it as yet another example of BTS's global cultural influence. The New York Times described the wedding as a reminder that idols can also be icons of grace, while Variety called Jin a textbook definition of how to carry global fame with humility. Even BBC News ran a short segment on how Jin's MC performance had reignited discussions about BTS members stepping into leadership roles beyond music. This wasn't just fanfare. Marketing analysts and brand experts pointed out that Jin's presence at such a personal, human event reinforced the emotional branding that BTS is known for. Instead of being distant superstars, members like Jin continue to show that they're grounded in real relationships, even when the cameras aren't rolling. And that, more than any commercial campaign, is what builds lifetime loyalty among fans.